All right, in this video, we're going to talk about calculating the perimeter and area of rectangles. All right, so let's first start with perimeter. That is a fancy way to say what is the distance around an object. So for example, if you were here in this top left of the rectangle and I said, run around the perimeter of this rectangle, you would say, oh, you're gonna run 12 centimeters, and then 4 centimeters, and then another 12 centimeters, and then another 4 centimeters to get back to your starting point. All right, so our perimeter is simply adding all of the sides around the object. There are easier ways to do it. For example, you might see that there's 4 and 12, and you could say, oh, I know that 4 plus 12 is 16. Well, that means I got to run 16 more to get all the way back. So the total perimeter here is 32 centimeters. Cool. Now, let's talk about area. Way back in the day, you probably learned area through multiplication. And the reason why that is because if we do a terrible job, or I do a terrible job of saying, look, 4 centimeters, let's break that up into 4 centimeters, like 4 rows of 1 centimeter. And I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to probably draw all of them, but let's say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows of centimeters at the top. We just created a grid, or an array is the fancy word. And what we did was we said, oh, 4 times 12 means there are 48 tiles in that area that would cover that area. And each tile is a square centimeter, 1 centimeter by another centimeter. So the area here is 48 square centimeters. All right, how cool is that? We could cover it with 48 little squares. So let's do the mastery question. Some of you are like, oh, that was easy. I'm just going to take 18 and add it to 3, and then take it and add it to another 18 and another 3, and you are incorrect, my friends, because you might have not been paying attention to the unit of measurement. These are not both inches, and they're both not feet. So you got to decide, which one do you want to convert it to? So for example, I see 3 feet. I might convert that to inches. So I got to go 3 times 12. Or some of you might be seeing the inches and go, wait, that's like 1.5 feet, because it's 12 inches plus 6 inches. However you convert it, whatever you're a fan of, do it. All right? I personally think 3 feet times 12 inches is going to be maybe a little easier. So this side is actually 36 inches. Now we could go 36 plus 18 and say we've got 2 of those, and that ends up being 46.54 inches halfway around. So that means I need another 36 inches and 18 inches, so another 54 inches. Well, that's a total of 108 inches for the perimeter. Okay? And we'll end with area. For the area, it's the same. We're just going to take the base of 18 and multiply it by the height of, did I write, I wrote these numbers wrong. It didn't affect my final answer, but I should have put that 18 there and 36 there. All right, let's start over for our area, because I said base times height, and that means I need to go 36 times 18. And then I would go off to the side and do 36 times 18, or maybe you can use a calculator. I am not going to review long multiplication of double-digit numbers with you. That's a waste of your time. So I'm just going to say the answer is 36 times 18 is 648. Now, this is most important, square inches, because I decided to convert it to square inches. But the fun part about this is, what if you did feet, right? What would the answer be in feet? So that's the final part of this video is, well, if you have a square foot, 1 foot by 1 foot, well, that's technically 12 inches by 12 inches, which means the total area here of 1 square foot is 144 square inches. So if you want to know the answer in square feet, we would take 648 and divide it by the 144. Okay? And when you do that, you get 4.5 square feet. So maybe you did it in square feet, and that's your final answer. Cool stuff. All right, next video, we're going to do area and perimeter of triangles.